Welcome to Reading Africa. Today we're going to read about the Aro Confederacy. The Aro Confederacy was a political union orchestrated by the Aro people, Igbo subgroup centered in Aro in present-day southeastern Nigeria. Their influence and presence was all over eastern Nigeria, lower Middle Belt, and parts of present-day Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea during the 18th and 19th century. The Aro Kingdom was an economic, political, and oracular center, as it was home of the Ibini Upabo Oracle, High Priest, and the Aro King as an Aro and Central Council. The Aro Confederacy was established in 1690 and de-established in 1902. The government was a constitutional monarchy. By the mid-18th century, several Aro business families had migrated to Igbo hinterland to adjacent areas as a result of the rise of the demand for slaves and palm oil. This migration, the influence of the god Ibini Ubabo through priests, and their military power supported by their alliances with several related neighboring Igbo and Eastern Cross River militarized states, particularly Ohafia, Eda, Abam, Abariba, Afikpo, Ikoyi, Bahumono, and Amasiri, quickly established the Aro Confederacy as a regional economic powerhouse. The Aro activities on the coast helped the growth of city-states in the Niger Delta, and these states became important centers for the export of palm oil and slaves. Such city-states included Opobo, Boni, Nembe, Calabar, as well as other trading city-states controlled by the Ijo, Efik, and the Igbo. The Aros formed a strong trading network, colonies, and incorporated hundreds of communities that formed into powerful kingdoms. The Ajali, the Arodozogu, the Dilekelenu, the Ibene kingdoms were some of the most powerful Aro states in the Confederacy after Arochukwu. Some were founded and named after commanders and chiefs like Iziogu, Bobwe, and Iheme, who led Aro Abam forces to conquer Ipa Ora and founded Orodiziogu. Later, Aro commanders such as Okoro Idozuka expanded the state's borders through warfare at the start of the 19th century. Aro migrations also played a large role in the expansion of Oziza, Afipo, Amasiri, Izombe, and many other city-states. For example, Aro soldiers founded at least 3 villages in Oziza. The Aro Confederacy's power, however, derived most of its economic and religious position through war. During the 1890s, the Royal Niger Company of the British Empire brought friction with the Aros because of their economic dominance and alleged human sacrifice. The Aro resisted British penetration in the hinterland because their economic and religious influence was being threatened. The Aro and their allies launched offensive against British allies in Igboland and Ibibioland. After failed negotiations, the British attempted to conquer the Aro Confederacy in 1899. By 1901, the tensions were especially intensified when Britain's army prepared for the Aro expedition. The invasion of Ubegu was the last major Aro offensive before the start of the Anglo-Aro War. In November 1901, the British launched the Aro expedition, and after strong Aro resistance, Arochukwu was captured on December 28, 1901. By early 1902, the war was over and the Aro Confederacy collapsed and was taken over by the British Empire, soon named and put in together as part of Nigeria.